Cheers are up, the crowd's amazed in the glow of winning. Brains on fire, tension snaps. Piece by piece we conquer final clap. Speed puzzlers in the Cheers are up, the crowd's amazed. Eyes on target, hearts ablaze. In this rush we find our craze. Puzzle mania late at night, feeling high on this delight. Counting seconds ticking down. Champion in this jigsaw town.
Pieces flying left and right. Time is running out, but it's alright. Patterns form like magic tricks. Fingers dance with quick, sharp flicks.
Eyes are locked on cardboard hues. Every move's a racing muse. Corners meet with frantic cheer. Victory's scent is drawing near. Puzzle mania late at night, feeling high on this delight. Counting seconds ticking down. Champion in this jigsaw town. Brains on fire, tension snaps. Hands aligned at final clasp. Cheers are up, the crowd's amazed in the glow of winning race. Piece by piece we conquer all. Speed puzzlers in the hall. Eyes on target, hearts ablaze. In this rush we find our craze. Puzzle mania late at night, feeling high on this delight. Counting seconds ticking down. Champion in this jigsaw town.
Pieces flying left and right. Time is running out, but it's alright. Patterns form like magic tricks. Fingers dance with quick, sharp flicks.
Eyes are locked on cardboard hues. Every move's a racing muse. Corners meet with frantic cheer. Victory's scent is drawing near. Puzzle mania late at night, feeling high on this delight. Counting seconds ticking down. Champion in this jigsaw town. peace we conquer all. Speed puzzlers in the hall. Eyes on target, hearts ablaze. In this rush, we find our craze. Puzzle mania late at night, feeling high on this delight. Counting seconds, ticking down. Champion in this jigsaw town. Ooh, 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 ooh,
Pieces flying left and right. Time is
Hello everybody and
out,
welcome
but
to
it's
tonight's competition,
alright.
EJJ 79. We'll be
Patterns form
starting
like
in
magic
about
tricks.
yeah,
Fingers
in 8
dance
minutes.
with quick
So if you're in the middle of a warm-up puzzle, don't worry, keep on going. Yes,
Eyes are
can
locked on
everybody give a
cardboard
wave to all the viewers?
Every move's a
Fantastic.
racing muse.
Alright, so welcome Fuji, my
Corners
co-host
meet
for this
with
evening.
frantic cheer.
Hello, Michelle.
Victory
Have you,
Hello, everyone.
have you recovered from all your Budapest?
Puzzle mania late at
Yes,
night.
I got back 2 days ago. I spent a little extra time back at home with family, and yeah, my voice recovered, which is also quite nice. So yeah, I'm back on my feet and ready for action again.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, I can imagine it was quite an intense weekend.
Yeah, it was, and I didn't puzzle at all. Like yesterday, when I sat down to finally actually do a puzzle, I was so happy.
Yeah, so for those who haven't, I highly recommend going over to the Mope Puzzle YouTube channel and watching all the live streams. I don't want to repeat anything or like try to cover what happened because I think it was done really well by Fuji and her co-hosts. So if you want to know what happened, check out the live streams for the action and the interviews, and also a lot of people have been posting on Instagram as well, recaps and about their trip. So that was definitely a big highlight for all the participants and also those who were watching and following on the action. I just wanted to let everybody know that there is a giveaway tonight. So this is celebrating our 1,000 subscribers. It actually happened a few months ago, but there were too many things going on, so it slipped my mind. So what I'm doing is for everybody who is a commenter on the YouTube chat, so all our viewers, as well as all of our participants are welcome to participate. So when you finish your puzzle, hop over to YouTube, leave a comment about anything. So and then I'll pick 3 comments to win one of the new releases. Let me make that big for everybody. So this is one of the new releases from July that might show up at the Worlds. This one is called, oh, it's only in German. Okay, I'll have to translate it. Summer Meadow Flowers with Blue Stars. I think Blue Stars is the name of the flowers. Landlust. That's a magazine in Germany dedicated to country living, and they've got like a few in the Landlust series in the July releases. So who knows, maybe that one shows up at the Worlds. I have to say, I have done a Schmidt puzzle very similar to this, and it was really hard. It was basically wooden with these black lines, some flowers in the foreground, and then like blurriness. So it's kind of giving me memories of that. But it's great training, or a great casual puzzle training. Okay, then we have Versailles. This one's quite nice. Versailles in France. So pretty cool patterns there. Part of the Beautiful Castles series. And then we have Venice Day to Night. So for all the gradient sky lovers there, that one actually looks quite fun.
This is pretty much the only one that looks like it could be fun for a competition.
Yes, but a lot of the 1000 Ravensburgers we do for training, not necessarily because it looks fun, but yeah, love lots of windows. We're all the people that want to practice buildings. And then who has flowers as a nemesis? So anyway, I'm happy to send those wherever in Europe. Yeah, so for Europe and UK, I can send that. Yeah, so, oh, look, suddenly there's a lot of comments. Okay, cool. Yes, so lots of comments coming through. Lots of people wishing everyone good luck. Oh, Kieran says the Venice one was in the Dutch Nationals and it's really nice. Oh, okay. Very good to know. Then maybe we can check some of the times there. And yeah, nice to see lots of viewers. So great. Thank you for joining us. So yeah, today we have a regular 500 piece puzzle. It's open to everyone, so it's not a 50+ club. So we'll have a mix of people here. I just wanted to mention that our theme of the day is volunteering, and we have a special guest joining us, Daphne from the Netherlands. She has volunteered at the World Championships, at the German Nationals, the USA Nationals, Dutch, and possibly Belgium as well. She seems to get around. Anyway, she's going to share her perspective from all those different nationals and what she's learnt from that. And yeah, we might have a chat with Tammy too if we have time, because she also has a lot of experience at the USA Nationals and seeing how with such an enormous event, how that takes place and how people can get involved. But yeah, let's just check the messages that everything is fine. Oh, Valentina said the day to night puzzle from Venice is a joy to puzzle. Okay, so maybe some people would like to win that one. All right.
I just had looked up the results. The fastest team to do it at the Dutch Nationals did it in 37 minutes and 18 seconds.
That's a pretty decent time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So of the three, I think, yes, I would prefer that the Venice one turns up in the competition than the flowers or the building. Okay, so it's time to unwrap your puzzle and see what we have today. Yeah, so remove the plastic stickers as well. So yeah, Kinga just commented that she bought this puzzle when she was in Budapest. So I guess you went to the Puzzle Garden shop, or they had a stand at the venue.
Actually, not at the venue, but a lot of people visited the shop while they were there.
Yeah, I saw a few people posting that they were just like walking through all these aisles of puzzles everywhere. Good. All right, so make sure that the lid comes off easily, that all 4 stickers have been removed or sliced, and then place the puzzle back in the middle of the table. Yeah, so Fuji did a really great job. She handled 3 days of live streaming fantastically.
Yeah,
So,
we can chat about it a little bit later. Thanks everyone for the nice comments.
Yeah, there's lots of nice comments saying they appreciate that. All right, it looks like we're ready to go. Okay, let's do a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And off we go. It's the Ravensburger. It seems like it's a very Ravensburger theme day today with the giveaway of 3 Ravensburger and this one.
That's true. That wasn't actually intentional. I was just like, what can I give away that's kind of relevant? Oh yeah, these are brand new releases. That sounds good. So yeah, this puzzle is called Magical Moonlight from Ravensburger, and it's part of the Glow in the Dark collection. So you can leave the puzzle on your table and then check it out later with the lights off how it glows. So yeah, a bit of under the water, tropical fish, seahorse and turtles. And then like dolphins with waves splashing around, a lighthouse in this corner, and then waterfalls over here. So actually a very busy dolphin night scene.
It's busy. There's a lot of things to reach for. There's also a lot of tricky parts as I'm looking at the picture now, like a lot of the similar fish all over the place. So it will be tricky.
Yeah, I'm going to start at the E in the alphabet today. So I will say up front, I have checked myspeedpuzzling.com with this puzzle. Victor has done it 3 times and holds the record at the moment for like 38 minutes or something, but he's not participating. So don't worry about that. So really it's up to anyone. The other people this puzzle has not been done that many times, and it has been mostly done by Americans or Australians. So apart from Victor, it seems like the regular people who post on myspeedpuzzling.com from Europe haven't done it. So hopefully it'll be a new puzzle for most people. All right, so on screen, we are just going to sort my sheet by the alphabet. Okay, we have Elisa from Estonia, Emilia from Finland, Eva from Germany, Everly from Estonia, Everly T from Estonia, Eva S from Poland, and Franziska from Germany.
And yes, we're off to a pretty strong start. There seems to be some sorting on some tables already, mostly the edges.
But yeah, the way you can see it, there's a lot of bluish and purple, and yeah, like you've got the bluish purplish sky, like there's like this gradient in the sky. You've got the moon. The dolphins are also purplish and blue, and then the waves. So there is like a different texture for the waves. You've got a different texture for the waterfalls, like the waterfalls are going more directional, so you can check those. But yeah, there's a lot going on, and you also have like this dappled light effect on the underwater, on the dolphins. So yeah, I think it's part of the glow in the dark thing. They tried to make it as like glowy and reflective as possible with like little dappled light and splashes of water everywhere.
Yeah, what feels like could be very tricky about this puzzle is actually like the plants that are all over the place. Like there's that orange plant that seems quite tricky, and like also the green ones, because it seems like it's the exact same plant, just placed in multiple places of the puzzle. So like, I'm not sure how easy it's going to be for people to tell which plant they are actually having in their hands.
Yeah, so there are a lot of like trees, like they all have this very similar shape. It's almost like these palm tree star-shaped trees, but they're all different colors: pink, green, yellow, orange, and there's multiple. So like I actually started, I did it with a fish, started with the fish, but afterwards I went to the plants, and then I realized, well, hang on, there's orange plants on this side of the puzzle and also on this side. And they look really similar. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. There's lots of things going on with this one.
I also kind of want to see how people are going to go about the puzzle, if like what strategies we're going to see, because I feel like the busy sections are going to be like either someone goes for the sky and the waves that are like that have very distinct texture and then try and go for the busy part, or the other way around, of like first busy things, colorful stuff that they can reach for, and then building into that I wouldn't call it a gradient sky, but like the one block of sky, things like that. So it's going to be interesting to see how people are going about the puzzle itself.
Yeah, so on screen we have Freya from Sweden, Hagar from Portugal, Hannah from Czechia, Heike from Germany, Iris from Denmark, and Irma from Switzerland. So something about an online competition is that everybody has a different lighting, and you can see here, like some of the pieces look purple, and others they look like light blue. So there's quite a variation as to, yeah, how it's perceived on camera.
In some of the screens, it almost looks like the pieces are not even flipped. Really, it's just blue, like Ravensburger blue.
Yeah, I was thinking the first thing that popped into my mind was that Hannah is doing her puzzle upside down.
Yes, but there's already some edges being formed, especially I think the top edge, which is like one straight line, so it's easier to like make out because there's the one like very distinct color that goes through it. With everything else, the edge is pretty busy everywhere. So there it might be a little bit harder to put the edge together, but like the top edge is forming in a lot of places.
Yeah, I can say that the glow in the dark series generally is quite hard. Like they're just generally they have to be dark to be able to use that. Glow in the dark. They're all night scenes. So Justina says that she's solved the owls. That's very different. It's basically white owls in the snow with a blue sky. I can tell you that the owls is harder. My time for this one was better than the owls. Yeah.
What was your time?
My time for this was 1 hour and 14 minutes. And
yeah, it's not easy. I think it's also deceitfully difficult.
Yeah, but keep in mind we have some of the best in the world with us tonight. So I'm expecting that the first finish to be well under that time. But yeah, we can see people going for the border. Looks really good. Oh, and you can see Iris has got the orange tropical fish already pulled out.
Yeah, that's being formed already. But it's also interesting that like everyone is saying in the chat as well that like this is a pretty difficult puzzle, and it's like tricky. The glow in the dark is always tricky, and then still they guess like 42, 43 minutes of like that's what like the top competitors are now striving for most of the time. It's not 40 something minutes really, but it's like under 40 more like.
Yeah, although we've had so many finishes close to the 30s, that actually something in the 40s is a bit conservative.
That's taking into consideration that this is a tricky puzzle.
Yeah. So we had on the screen a bit before we had Eva from Germany. I just want to read out what she wrote because I thought it was very interesting. I do social media work for the German Association so we also asked the participants if they had volunteered for anything puzzle related or what they could learn from the experience. I do social media work for the German Association, mainly Instagram, and helped out with taking photos at the Puzzle Blitz. I'm also hosting the Puzzle Treff in Bielefeld. I'm really enjoying supporting and connecting the community and giving people the opportunity to have a good time. I have learnt that help and ideas, even small things, are needed everywhere, and that it's very worthwhile to offer help, and that you don't have to be afraid to approach people and get involved. So yeah, already a lot of small and big ways that people can help within their association.
Yeah, it comes from the small things. Like I actually felt it very touching that Eva mentioned the Puzzle Blitz, because there it was, most of the people were like volunteers that jumped in that day to help. So it's very, very touching when people just like grab something that they can do to make life easier for the organizers in any way.
Yeah, and I just want to point out, because she was taking the photos, and I mean she just used her mobile phone, and she basically took a photo of every single person after they'd finished. She just went up to them and said, "May I take a picture?" And then like the next day we had like the photos on the German website. So everybody has a phone, so you can also, if you don't have a big camera or you're not a photographer, even just asking, "Can I take photos?" is a simple thing.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so on screen now we have Isabel from France, Jenny from Finland, Jessica from the USA, Jonna from Finland, Jörn from Germany, and Yuka from Finland.
And at this point, I also want to give a shout out to Jörn because he also helped out with co-hosting the European Championship, which he has actually mentioned as volunteering. And he was also co-hosting the German Nationals. So he has been putting in his share as well. And he's organizing a competition now, or playing with the idea or working on it.
That would be
Yeah.
awesome, yeah, because he's up in the north of Germany and there hasn't been much happening up there. I mean, most of the competitions have been like kind of like in the south and in the middle.
Yes.
So somebody just talked about that the glow in the dark is a whole new way of puzzling. I just had the idea maybe we should have told people to turn the lights off.
No, you could actually do like a night competition and have like the lights turned off.
Yeah, that'd be an extra challenge. It's quite funny. I always enjoy seeing what Yuka is up to. He has these paper trays always, and yeah, he's got the borders on the one tray, and then he's got like the green. He's got the green separated. So yeah, if you look at all the colors on the picture, the color that is like the least or the most stands out is like the greens. So yeah, it looks like he's going to go for greens next. But he's also done some color sorting there. Quite a good view there.
Yes, it's interesting actually how most people are going for the edge so far that we have seen. Like I can see that Jan has built the sky, but everyone else is pretty much building the edge for now.
Yeah, I think I was attracted to like the tropical fish at the bottom. I think I started with the lower edge in terms of like building, and then I think I did the moon after that. Yeah. Yeah, the moon is quite a small part in the owl puzzle. It's quite a huge part. I think a lot of these, pretty much all of the glow in the dark has a moon or multiple moons in there. Like the lunar wolf that we had for the pairs competition that had multiple moons.
Yeah, it feels like it's a logical way to go around it, to like go for the moon. It probably stands out a little bit because it has like this purplish color, so you can tell that it's definitely the sky, even if it's not the moon. Like it looks like there's like this purple hue around the sky section already, including like the flowers. Flowers, I meant the birds that are flying around.
Yeah, I just want to read out some of the shout outs. We have a lot of people commenting today. Well, lots of good lucks for everybody. And then specifically, Go Eva Go. So that's from Justina. And Zelos, let's go, Daria. And there was another one. Oh, yeah. Smilla is sending extra support to Maria TB and Marina. And Elizabeth says, good luck, BB Coltfort. So nice to have that support. Okay, so Kim from the Netherlands is up in the top corner. Then we have Lenka from Slovakia, Lily from Germany, Lena Beata from Norway, Lynn from Belgium, and Marcia from the Netherlands.
It's always so nice to see Lenka puzzling. She has such an organized way of going around puzzling because like the end, it's all very clean always. Like it feels like everything that is placed, it's always there for a reason. And then in the meantime, Marcia is already pretty much done with the sky. Most of the moon, the birds are there. I think there's like maybe like one piece there missing from like the top sky section. And then it looks like she's maybe tackling the fish. It's a little bit hard to see from like the small screen now.
Yeah, no, that looks really, really nice, like a big chunk of the sky there. So you can see there's like a gap between the main sky section and then the little another section of sky, and that's because there's a dolphin missing.
Yeah, there's a dolphin jumping in the middle, and you can kind of see like the shape of the dolphin going there. So it's a pretty cute little detail there.
Yeah, Lena Beata is on holiday at the moment, so she's got a different setup, using like a breakfast table with the random lamp. She's on holiday in Austria, but she's not missing out on her EJJ up in the mountains.
And then Lily was doing some really, really detailed sort. It looks like there's, I think, 4 or 5 piles. I think one of them, the smallest one, is the edges. And then everything else is like, I wonder what the sorting criteria was, like how it was divided up into 5.
Maybe one of the piles is dolphins.
Could be. And then I really, really like Hannah's comment, which says that it's always like a night competition in Finland during winter.
True. Yes. You have your disappearing light.
But then most probably the puzzle doesn't glow up either because of the big darkness.
Okay. So we also have puzzling with us tonight. We have Maggie from Austria, Maya T from Slovenia, Mantas from Lithuania, Maria R from Slovakia, Maria TB from Sweden, and Mariana from Germany. So here, pretty much everyone except Maria TB have done the moon. So,
yes. That sky section is very, very tempting.
yeah, it's the least chaotic part of the puzzle. Everything else is just, yeah, a lot going on. Very, very busy. But yeah, that part at least is quite soothing. It's kind of like a gentle ease into the puzzle.
It kind of like guides you into the chaos that is everything else in the puzzle.
Yeah, that's looking really nice. Yum. But yeah, so Frigi, I think people are giving some guesses for times. Is that right?
Yes, the most of them are in the 40s. Like I have seen Vicky, for example, going for like 40 minutes and a couple of seconds, but mostly it's somewhere between 41 to 44 minutes, guessing the first place. So yes, people are still ambitious, even though I think like I would maybe go even higher because they are tricky puzzles, like once you get into the thick of it. But in the meantime, it's also very hard to cut. Like it's really hard to guess by now because people have got so fast that it's like even when you like add to how challenging some puzzles are, even then it's usually in the 40 somethings as first finisher time.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, of course, Victor got 37 minutes or something on his third attempt. So,
what was his first attempt?
Oh, somebody can look that up and tell us what was his first attempt. Yeah,
if someone has the time to take a look, then let us know in the YouTube chat.
Janie says hi to Nia. Go Nia. She is, oh yes, she's also on screen. So in the top left we have Mimeli. That's actually Sana from Finland. Then we have Mona from Germany, Mooney from Germany, Nadia from Indonesia, Nia from the UK, and Patrick from Switzerland. And I'm happy to say that Nadia and Patrick will be coming to our marathon event in Trier.
Yay!
So we're actually having a lot of people coming to the event in Trier. It's really exciting.
How many countries do you have signed up already? Like how many people from different countries?
Well, we have 20 full teams, and then others that are like mixtures, like still looking for people or single people looking to come. So Patrick is on a team with Anami, Emilia, Stein, and Emma. And Nadia is on a team with Catherine, engineering, Matthias, Maria, and Janine. So they're all EJJ people.
Oh, very good. We also have the first time of Victor. So thank you very much, Mika and SJ. It was 57 minutes and 12 seconds 14 months ago.
Oh, well, he's improved. Yeah, so... And he's improved a lot since then. So
yeah, I would still put it somewhere around 47, maybe. Okay, I kind of want to like go a little bit higher with the estimate time.
Yeah, so if we look closely at Nia's, I'm just going to pull her in a bit. It looks like she's doing a pick and place, and she's just, well, at least she's got a lot on the inside of her frame. I can see her pulling up, checking the image. She has a lot just placed roughly where it is. So I kind of did something similar to that. At some point I just had to look at each tree and try and just look at the picture and place it where it went.
It also looks like she looks at the image a lot, like comparing the piece to the box, which can be a good strategy. And I'm seeing more and more people do that, to like actually hold up the piece and look at the box to like find it specifically. And especially when chickening the pieces, it can be like very useful.
Yeah,
And it seems very organized.
It's very organized for that. That's really interesting. We'll check in later with Nia. I want to see how that strategy works out.
It also seems like the way she was placing the pieces, whatever she couldn't place, like exactly in the frame, like they are placed in, like oriented around the frame, depending on where they are going to go. But yes, let's check back on her later.
Yeah, so we also have Rachel from Denmark with her Pipsqueak on the table, the mouse, Pipsqueak the mouse. Then we have Rika from Denmark, Robert from Sweden, Savina from Denmark, Sammy from USA, Sammy and Chombi, her little mascot with his top hat. And so the reason he has a top hat is because Chombi, so Sammy did the fancy bunny party, the cherry pazzy puzzle, and the 4 bunnies were wearing top hats, and I said that her mascot needed a top hat, so she made him one. It's so cute.
And she actually made the top hat for the mascot.
Yes.
Well, it's a very elegant and well-dressed mascot.
Yes. And then we also have Sandra Geraldine, so she's from Peru, and shout out to her. She came first in a competition recently. I think it was so either there was a competition in Peru or a neighboring country on the previous weekend, and she came in first place. So good job to her.
She's also making incredible progress here. Like the majority of the sky is done, also with the dolphin missing on the top there. You can see like the missing shape of the dolphin in the sky. And it looks also like she has been doing some pick and place as well, with like multiple just random pieces lying around. Yeah, it's hard to tell from like this angle and such a small screen if it's actually pick and place or if it's just like pieces that she like abandoned at some point. But I would kind of think that those are like, yeah, intentionally placed pieces.
Yeah, so we are at 22 minutes.
And it doesn't seem like people are halfway done yet.
No, we still have a lot of people on the border, a lot of people just with like one section done, or like a lot of scattered pieces.
Yeah, so I'm feeling more and more confident about my higher time estimate for first time.
So what was your guess again?
I was guessing somewhere around 47, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I might even go even higher. I don't know. It's also true that once people have like more and more figured out from the puzzle, it gets faster with such busy puzzles. Like it's the start that's difficult with a busy puzzle, I think, to like figure out what is where.
So I've changed up the screens again, and we have in the top left, Sana V from Finland, Sarah from Sweden, Sarah from Spain. Then we have in the bottom row, Saskia R from Estonia, and Saskia R but from Germany, and Celia from Norway. So a lot of name twins tonight. Because there's 2 Sanas from Finland, and we have 2 Sarahs, and then 2 Saskias. But yeah, I mean, at this stage at 24 minutes, we are used to seeing more done. We have had a lot of fast, but that's also because we have had a lot of, just in general, a lot of faster puzzles recently. So I think this is the first kind of challenging puzzle in a while. So yeah, a different change of pace tonight.
Yeah, it is actually pretty good. Like, you know, everyone is feeling very confident now with comfortable puzzles. And it's good to have like a challenge.
Yeah, well, basically we are now, you know, the Europeans are over. It's now time to shift focus to the worlds. And we are, second week of July, and the worlds is like the 3rd week of September. So we've got just over 2 months to...
Yeah, which is incredible of like how close it is getting.
So time to get the training on. Yeah, but yeah, Saskia is looking really good there. So Saskia from Germany, she has done most of those colorful fish. There's also a gap in her tropical waters there because there's also a dolphin. So I can imagine that a lot of people are seeing these dolphin pieces and just putting them to a side for now and kind of tackle those all at the same time, as opposed to trying to figure out now where the dolphins go. But yeah, all the surrounding corals and fish are done. And Sarah K has also done a lot of that similar area as well.
Also with Saskia, it's interesting to see, like, she's one of the first people, including Sarah K on the screen now, that it seems like they are working from the bottom up. So they are doing the tropical fish section first and not that much of the sky.
Yeah, Celia Ronald, if you can hear me, we can barely see your puzzle. We can see your pieces, we can see a few of your bits of your border. If possible, please put your puzzle that you're building a bit closer to the camera. Thank you. Okay, so we have Siobhan from Ireland, Stephanie D from Austria, Stephanie K from Germany, Steffi B from Germany, Stein from Belgium, and Tammy from United States.
That is a special shout out for Steffi K from Germany, who is my regular pairs partner. So we puzzle a lot together. So special shout out. Also to Stein, because we have competed together before.
Yes, and talking about volunteers, Stephanie K was one of your volunteers. Didn't she help set up like the photo booth, I think, at your event?
Oh, not just that, she came with me for location scouting already. So she was there from the very beginning when I was saying that I want to organize something. She was like, "Yeah, do it. I will help as much as I can." She does have two small children, so it's not that easy. So she couldn't be there like late nights and stuff like that. But yeah, she was helping me out with so much. And then she did pick up the photo box and yeah, also dropped it off for me. So that was huge help.
Yeah, that was something really nice at Frugi's event. So she had like a fun photo box there. So there was like a background with like a curtain, and then you could basically like take your team photo in front of the background and print it out straight away and do 4 different pictures. So you could take a picture by yourself or with your pair or with your team. And there were some really fun photos that came out of there. And yeah, I still have them sitting like in my kitchen.
I actually have to like credit that to, I guess, Stein or someone from Belgian Nationals, because that's where I got the idea from. So there was a photo booth at Belgian Nationals, and that's when I was like, oh my God, that is so much fun. People need that. There needs to be more photo booths.
Oh, true. Yeah, I think there was people. Yeah, somebody told me that it was a really popular thing at the Dutch one, and that there was like a queue of people lining up to take their photos with their puzzles and.
Yes, exactly. It's super popular. Like in the beginning of the competition, people are obviously shy and it's still just the individual round. So it's not that much of a party with taking the photos. But then once the pair and team competition gets going and there's more pairs getting together in teams, that's where people like start lining up for pictures, which I think is just so nice. It's a good memory to have. A little keepsake.
Yeah, because I didn't take a picture like individually. Well, actually, I forgot to take one with my pair, but then for the teams we were doing with our T-shirt and then with the mascots, and yeah, just having some fun. All right, so we have Teresa on screen. Teresa from Czech Republic, Tobias from Sweden, Valentina from Belgium, Verena from Austria, Veronica from Slovakia, and Williams from Latvia. Yeah.
As far as I know, there's also a competition coming up in Latvia. I think maybe next week or this weekend. I have only just seen like 1 or 2 posts on Instagram. So like whoever is in Latvia, maybe the competition organizers are going to appreciate some volunteers jumping in, get in touch with the Latvia Jigsaw Puzzle Club. I don't know if they're an association, but I do know that there is a Facebook page that they have.
Yeah, meanwhile, Teresa has done most of the water and most of the sky. and certain parts of the tree, so the more colorful parts of the trees. So pretty much what she's got left over is like a lot of water. Yeah.
And some of the busy sections as well.
Yeah,
Like the side is still missing. And we're hitting 30 minutes now.
Yeah, but Veronica has also made a lot of progress. I know she's not feeling the best tonight, but she's still got it's got quite a decent section done. She's got coming down from the top with the sky, coming up from the water. So she's doing really well. And
Verena is also progressing very well. It's hard to see because the light is coming from the back and like a part of the puzzle is really blended out. But yeah, it also looks like she has a lot of the sky done and also like a lot of the bottom.
Yeah. So at this point, you can kind of see how people are approaching the puzzle. I'd be really interested to see if we see anyone who starts with a dolphin. But there could be. Is anyone going to take a completely different strategy?
It is possible. There's always some surprise at some point. And then yes, while you're switching screens, I'm going to do the shout out that Kinga has been posting on the YouTube chat. There is also Polish Championships coming up in August, which is in Olsztyn on 9th and 10th of August. So most probably they're also looking for volunteers since we have volunteering as a topic for tonight's competition. Yeah, if you're located in Poland, feel like you want to participate and also help out, yeah, get in touch with the Polish Association.
Yeah, and actually, just before we had Valentina on screen, Valentina from Belgium. So regarding the topic of the day, she said she's involved in Speed Puzzling Belgium, the association that organizes the Belgium Championships in collaboration with the World Federation. It has been very interesting from an organizational point of view, as I really got to discover what it takes to be involved in such a big project. And so there are different arms of that. So there's communication, planning, decision making, design. I'm still helping the association to maintain the website and probably will join in as a member again as soon as I have more free time. So yeah, so there's not only just what happens on the day, you know, if you're a tech expert, there's things you can do to help out on the website, or yeah, even like you said, like going and visiting sites looking for potential venues, and communication and social media. So yeah, a lot of ways that people can help. So yes. We have Vroni from Switzerland on screen. We also have Juanita from Thailand, Aaron from the UK, Agnes from France, Aidan from Switzerland, and Alejandro from Spain.
Alejandro pretty much only has that middle section as well. There's still a way to go here. It is proving trickier than what it looks like at first.
Yeah, so we're at the coming up to 33 minutes.
And I'm also going to give a shout out to Aaron, who has joined the European Championship live stream as well as a co-host. So thank you very much for joining.
And at short notice.
And at short notice, yes. Yes, because the thing is in there for like he was commentating on the pairs final, and obviously for the finals, for the pair and individual, I didn't want to start writing people before the competition to like, you know, kind of assume that they're not going to qualify for the finals. So I had like a list, or mostly I was waiting for the results to come out and just start looking through whoever didn't qualify to hopefully, yeah, join in on commenting. So that worked out pretty well. And he did a stellar job.
Yeah, no, he was really enthusiastic. That was, yeah, really great to hear. Yeah, that's the thing about live streams, especially when there's like advancements, you know, a semi-final or a final, you can't really plan in advance, well, not too much. You can't plan in advance who's going to be the co-host. Yeah, because you want as many people as possible to make it to the final. Yes, exactly. So that's why it was actually very good. Like we had that arranged before the competition already, that one of the organizers, Marian,
joined for the team final, because she wasn't puzzling at the event for obvious reasons. She was busy with other stuff. And then we kind of arranged for like all the other volunteers and people working at the competition so that she could like leave for that 3 hours, which was the team final, and just join in for the live stream of the final, which I think worked out pretty well as well.
Yeah, no, she was an excellent commentator. I thought she had a lot of good insights and yeah, just gave a really nice behind the scenes view from organizing perspective. Yeah, so we have Amanda. She's from the United Kingdom, Andreas from Cyprus, Angelica from Germany, Anna R from Sweden, Anna R from Finland. Let me just double check that. Yes. Bottom left is Anna R from Sweden, and middle is Anna R from Finland, and then Anami from Switzerland. But yeah,
so there's the unicorn crew.
Oh, back and forth. This time, not just a few of them; they're all back. Yes. So far, it seems that Alejandra was in the lead, but we know that Teresa was making great progress. So I started at that E in the alphabet. So I'm at the A's right now. So I think in a few minutes we'll have covered everybody, and then we can go back and look at who might be in the running for the top 6 for the first finishes.
I'm also keeping an eye on the likely finishers already.
But yeah, lots of I haven't seen anyone with doing the dolphins.
No, it seems like the dolphins are way more tricky than what they look like on the picture. Like, did you have that problem as well? That like they're like the dolphins just blending into each other, or hard to tell which is which?
Yeah, I think dolphins in general are pretty hard because it just looks really similar, and it's like, oh, you see like the sleek, like you might have like an edge, but you don't know if it's like the tail or the top of the body, and so you end up kind of just lining them up diagonally, trying to think, okay, in which direction they go. But then I've done some other dolphin puzzles, and they're not my favorite thing to puzzle.
Yeah, understandable. Like in general, I think fish are super difficult. I know dolphins are not fish, but any kind of sea animal, but especially fish, because it's always hard to tell which is the top and which is the bottom. Like they are weird.
We'll add that to one of the many things that are like hard to puzzle. Yeah. But who knows? It could be a dolphin puzzle. I mean, Ravensburger has quite a lot of dolphin puzzles. I think all the dolphin puzzles I've done have been from Ravensburger.
Yes.
We had a 200-piece puzzle, kids puzzle, and I remember that was hard. It was just like 6 dolphins like just swishing their tails and all like swirling around in the waves. It was pretty hard. So we have a giant pink
is that a unicorn?
Looks like a unicorn with golden hooves, and we also have, that's Aurelia from Germany. We also have Barbara from Austria, BB Crow from Denmark, and also BB Koldoft from Denmark. So the 2 BBs from Denmark, Birgit from Germany, and Cameron from Canada.
Yeah, it's not just Anami who can have unicorns supporting her.
Okay, so we're at 38 minutes. All right, so let's quickly, I think we had some people guessing for 42 minutes. So
yes, there were a couple of 42s. There were some 41s as well. And we have about 4 minutes left for 41 to 42 minutes. We're going to have to see if anybody actually makes that. I would pretty much say that at the moment it's Alejandro, Lenka, Marcia, and Teresa, the closest.
Okay, so we've reached the end of the alphabet. So we've got Cameron, I said we have already. That we have Carla S from Germany, Caroline from Germany, Kieran from Ireland, Daniela from the Netherlands, and Daria from Denmark.
Go, Caro!
So lots of moons, lots of fish, and borders seems to be the main strategy for this one. Okay, let's check in with Alejandro and the other front runners.
Daria has been getting a lot of support from the chat, so go Daria. But obviously everyone else as well. It is a tricky puzzle. Like you can see that people are struggling in some places. But let's see how close we are to people's guesstimates. We're at 40 minutes now.
Okay, so on screen we have Alejandro, Verena, Teresa, Tobias, and Veronica. And also Sarah K from Sweden is also doing really well.
I still in Martia as well. She pretty much has only the middle left.
Oh, yeah.
And Lenka. Lenka and Martia are pretty much at the same stage at the moment.
Yeah, so okay, we can just see some dolphin-shaped holes on Lenka, Mattia, and Alejandro. So now Alejandro is sitting down for this part. It's been standing up for the most of it.
It looks like it needs a little bit more focus.
Yeah, so at this point, it's kind of, you basically just have to ignore what's on the piece and basically look at the shape, because they're all purpley, bluey, white splash with dots all over them. Yeah, when you get down to that middle strip.
Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm trying to see if anyone has already done some shape sorting for that middle section, but it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I think people still are using the image a lot, but it looks like Alejandro, I mean, he's got his box off to the side that he's just grabbing something from the pile, and what doesn't fit he places directly below the image.
Mm-hmm.
So we're coming up to 42 minutes.
Yeah.
So
this is a tricky puzzle.
So does that mean so those who are on myspeedpuzzling.com was Victor's first time was 57 minutes. Was there any other first attempt that was faster than that? I think most of the times were over an hour. But yeah, Martia is going in really strong here. So she's only got that middle section. She's filled in the water below the surface, and also basically above the waves. So it's just that really murky section there in the middle where everything blends in together.
It also seems like she's picking up pace now very much and catching up to Alejandro.
Yeah, I'm actually wondering where Alejandro is participating, because he participated in the Flex 2 nights ago from Istanbul. So I think he said he was going to be back in Spain by now. But he has participated in South Korea, Norway, Turkey.
He's been kept busy these past months. And I'm looking at My Speed Puzzling now. The second best time is 55 minutes. And then 56 minutes, which was a first attempt, 57, which is a first attempt. And then apart from that, it's only an hour. I think Saskia Rose has done this already.
Oh, yes. Okay. So yeah, she's also doing
an hour
well.
and 3 minutes.
I think, she's definitely going to improve on that. Yeah, she's very motivated.
Yes, that's for sure.
She's staying, bent over her puzzle in a standing position. She knows this. She's got a good chance for this one. Going to check in on Amelia.
Let's take a look at Amelia, who was also one of the co-hosts at the European Championships. It was a pleasure to speak with her. And yes, as Jay says, that Victor's first attempt was the fastest first attempt, which I'm not exactly surprised by.
So I think it's between Teresa, Alejandro, and Martia. So let's just focus in on them, that we could get a better view.
It seems like Martia is gaining incredible speed now.
Yeah, I mean, well, she is really good at busy puzzles. We know that because she does the Jan van Hasteren, and she even did an unpublished Jan van Hasteren in 27 minutes and 56 seconds. which is as far as I can see, the official record. Official record for an unpublished puzzle in a competition.
It seems like she overtook Alejandro and only has about 10 pieces left.
Go, Marcia.
Go, Marcia. It's almost done. It's almost over.
Come on, do it under 45. Oh, but Teresa is also there. I mean, it's hard to see.
Teresa is also very, very close.
I think she's got all her pieces left in her hand, one by one.
It looks like it, yes.
Just feeding them from one hand.
Marcia is done, though.
Marcia, 44 minutes and 55 seconds. Congratulations.
Almost made my guess work, but not exactly. Congratulations, Marcia. First place.
Oh, good job. Okay, then who's it going to be, Alejandro or Teresa?
Very much. And Alejandro as well. It seems like they are neck to each other. It's tricky to say because Alejandro has everything on the table. It's maybe like 10 pieces, hard to see from his hands, but Teresa is holding everything in her hand, keeping us in the dark. But I don't think she has very many pieces left. Maybe
I can
three
see
or
a few
four.
gaps. Maybe she has some pieces on her puzzle. Maybe that's why it's hard to see. Yeah, I think she had some of them blues. Oh, so close. Who's it going to be?
Oh my god! Who's going to go and see?
Oh, it's... Okay.
Teresa second.
And Alejandro.
third. Wow.
Oh, congratulations, Marcia, Teresa, Alejandro. Well done. All right. 45 minutes, just under 46. So all within the same minute, roughly. Okay, let's check back in who might be coming in, and also for the top 6. And I heard that our teammate, Francisca, is also doing really well. Let's see how she's going.
Let's see. Let's see. I actually have her on my screen just because I like to keep an eye on her. So she's coming in close, but Tobias is also getting very close, and Lenka.
Yeah, so we've got Tobias, Verena, Emilia, Francisca, Lenka, and Steffi B all going at it hard. All right. Yeah, that someone says, yeah, Freya says that was almost in sync. It was. I mean, they both put like Teresa put her hand out, or like Alejandro almost at the same time. But yeah, it just took Alejandro a bit longer to hit done. And that was 3 seconds off SJ's guess.
Wow, very good guessing, SJ.
Yeah. So I'm getting hints from our virtual assistants that Lena, Beata, Iris are also very even to what we see on screen, as well as enemy. So we're coming now to that second wave of finishes.
Okay. Yes, this shows that this is a difficult puzzle, though. Like, we're at 47 minutes and we only have 3 finishers, and it's a Ravensburger, which is usually a little bit quicker, I think, than anything else, because people are used to like the shapes of the pieces as well. So it is a challenging one.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with the times of this one, because my time for this was 1 hour and 14 minutes. And I like busy puzzles, but I did struggle.
I think what makes it difficult is just there's so many like blues. Like, it's so one-toned that, like, yeah, there's the busy elements which are like breaking it up a little bit, but then everyone is struggling on the middle.
Yeah, you can see
exactly
like
the busy part.
Basically on the screen now, everyone has done all the colorful pieces. It's all just these bluish, purplish tones left to go.
Yes, and then it all hangs on like who can fill in the gaps quicker, who can scan through, because it's also like all scattered pieces around instead of just like one like middle gap.
Yeah, that's true. It's not like one big section. It's the pieces could go in many places because they have those similar textures. So
yes, like Luca has some bigger gaps, and then Steffi B has also like one big gap and smaller ones scattered around, and pretty much the same as Francis' puzzle. It's the same gap in the middle. And then Tobias is closing in. He doesn't have that big gaps anymore. It's mostly just piece shapes, and it also looks like he's working on shapes and not really the image anymore. So he's like trying to match each piece to like what gap he has, So it's kind of a shape sword, but not exactly.
Yeah, Lena Beata is also doing very strong, but yeah, still has a little bit behind this front running group.
And we are now over 49 minutes, almost at 50, and only 3 finishers.
So a clear podium. And Iris is also doing really well. Okay, so she actually does have a few left over in the top right-hand corner. So next to the lighthouse, she's probably filling in those orange trees that are a bit scattered. But actually, she has done some of the lower dolphins already.
Mm-hmm.
So she's filled in a bit more below the water, but has left some gaps on the upper part.
Yes, everyone seems like they are struggling a bit. And then Nia is done. We actually never checked back.
No.
And Lenka is done as well.
Oh no, we missed Nia. Oh, well done,
Nia.
I'm
so sorry. Congratulations. 4th place. And we were actually saying we want to check back because the strategy seemed so interesting.
Yeah, there's so many good people in this one. And yeah, she is thrilled that she came 4th behind Alejandro. She's in the top 6. Yeah, she just made the top 6 for the first time last week, and now she is there coming in 4th. Congratulations.
Incredible. Amazing job done.
Just gonna check in some other people. Yeah, we have a lot of people just basically closing in on that watery dolphin section. But I think the next finisher is gonna be Tobias or Verena. No, it looks like Tobias. Oh, Steffi B.
Oh, Steffi B. Steffi B is incredibly close. I would bet on her now.
Steffi B.
And Steffi done.
Yay. So that's our top 6. Marcia, Teresa, Alejandro, Nia, Lenka, and Steffi B at 51 minutes. Fantastic.
Amazing.
Yeah, so yeah, Gaza says, I think the strategy, Nia's strategy works. Well, she basically like slid under the radar. Yeah, so a good strategy because she came in 4th. I wish we had more of her. She'll have to. We've never had an interview with her. She has always declined an interview, but I think we need to know a bit more about her. Well done, Tobias.
Congratulations. And I'm trying to see who else we can still spot who is getting closer. It also seems like a lot, like, and people are finishing in like bunches of like 3 or 4 people almost at the same time or super close. And then there's another gap. Saskia is doing amazing.
Yeah, so she might be one of the few people who've done this one before. But or maybe this is just her type of puzzle. In any case, she's keeping up a really fast momentum, like, and is gonna place higher than she usually does. So Verena has just a few handfuls of pieces left. Eva S has lots of single holes to fill, but coming in really close. And Veronica has made amazing progress. Yeah, so looking like Veronica is in the running for top 10. Just got those holes to fill. And then a bit further behind is Saskia, Elena, and Anami. Oh, we got to check back with Francisca. Oh, go Francisca! And she says she doesn't like busy puzzles, but then she's actually been doing really well with busy puzzles recently. She's one of our sky and gradient experts on the team, but she's also really good at busy puzzles. So we have Verena, Eva, and Francisca all just with a handful of pieces, and Veronica as well. But Veronica makes it first. Awesome, Veronica. And Iris is also closing in. And Eva and Francisca are done. So do we have our top 10, Fuji? Oh, your microphone is off. Fuji, your microphone is off.
Ah, oops.
Do we have a top 10?
Yes, we have a top 10. We actually have a top 11 now because Francisca was 10th, Eva was 9th, Veronica was 8th, Tobias was 7th, and then Verena came in 11th now.
Oh, fantastic.
Incredible.
So I'm just going to fill up the screen and then we can have a chat with Martia. I think she said she had time for us today. Yes. All right, Martia, if you're there, you can put
It also
your
seems
mic
like
on.
Alejandro said yes.
Hi.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What did you think of this puzzle today?
Oh, well, when I opened it, I did have to kind of convince myself that this was going to be a nice process. When I saw it, I was a bit like, ooh. But in the end, yeah, it was sort of enjoyable. Was still very tough, but yeah.
What did you find the most challenging about it?
Yeah, I think you just kind of try to ignore the water and the dolphins as long as possible. Because all the like the little flowers and the little fish, I'm usually a little bit better at, like the little details. And then yeah, you just can at some point you just end up with only water. But luckily, still there was some pinks and some different colors to get some distinction still.
It was actually pretty funny because as we were looking at your puzzle, we saw that you have already completed the sky and there was like one gap of a dolphin.
Yeah.
So the shape of the dolphin was there.
No, indeed, yeah.
So yes, are you already training for Worlds or?
Yes, a little bit. I actually met up with my Paris partner this weekend. And we also did an ocean puzzle, so I was, I guess, very prepared for this one. It was a different one, but also with fish on the bottom and a little bit of sort of light on the top, which was really nice. But yeah, I'm not like particularly training at the moment myself, but just trying to make as much puzzles as I can, I think, with my free time.
Is there a reason that you're not like particularly training, or you just like enjoying the summer?
I'm still yeah, I have to work still, so there's no time in the day. So usually in the evening I make one puzzle, but I'm also not then in the mood to do actually do multiple puzzles in one evening, things like that. But then these weekends where I like puzzle with a partner or stuff like that, that's really nice. And then you can kind of get in the Worlds vibe a little bit more. Yeah.
Yes, and then yeah, do you specifically like what did I want to say? Sorry. Yes, like you were saying that you were like doing like an ocean puzzle and stuff. Like when you're getting together with like a partner, do you have like anything specific, or you just whatever puzzle you can reach, you just try to do?
I think in general we try to make puzzles that have like times. So it's all because I know you want to kind of compare and see where you stand, but that's not always possible. And yeah, I don't know. You also want to have a combination of hard and like not hard. So we made an ocean puzzle, and then we made the very stylized princess puzzle that was in one of the Paris competitions during Worlds last year, I think. So we try to kind of balance it out, have a fast one, have a harder one, have 1,500, kind of mix it up. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like a way to like also keep it interesting.
Definitely, yes.
And then are you still taking part in like any online competitions, or is there any plans still before Worlds that is also
Uh,
related?
I think I have quite some Jigsaw Gems still lying around. So I think maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6, something like that. And I am also doing one Jigsaw Gem with my Paris partner, the Double Trouble, to really kind of practice how it's going to be at World. So that's very nice. But I think other than that, there might not be anything coming up until Worlds, actually. Yeah.
I'm also trying to see. We have 17 finishers until now. It's also like, yeah. Do you like these kinds of challenges in a competition more, or just like the speeding? Like, which type do you prefer more?
I think I might be, I mean, it's better for your self-confidence. Of course, if you do an easy puzzle, you do it very fast. So I did some days ago, I did the Inside Out puzzle. And then you're just, and it's really fun just putting in pieces one after the other. I really like that. So maybe I'm more into the easy puzzles, but I guess that's, yeah, maybe everyone has that maybe a little bit. But it's also a good challenge to try to see if you get better. Also, I had some period where I just try to make as much puzzles with fur as possible because I don't really like that. And I'm trying to see if it could get better at that. So it's also nice to have a challenge, but definitely also some easy puzzles in between is nice.
What was your time on the Inside Out?
26 minutes and something below 30 seconds, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, so I was very proud about it. It was my first, my best personal best, of course.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
it does like like embrace your self-confidence a little bit.
Yes, definitely. It's really nice. Yeah.
Michelle, did you still have anything to talk
Yeah,
about?
I wanted to ask you about so the Jan van Haastrom competition, which you became like the individual champion for, and your team came, was it second or third?
Third, yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know, did you celebrate after that? Like, did you go out with your friends and have dinner together, or did everybody just be like, oh, I have to go home now and like go your different ways?
I think we didn't even celebrate that much, I guess. Maybe if we would have been first in the teams, it would have been different. But also because the day was very long, because I think the solos started in the morning already, and then it ended in the evening, and I think everyone was just ready to be home. So not even very. No, we didn't even celebrate it that much. But we were definitely. My team really wants to try again, so that's very nice. So I'm gonna do with the same team. We're gonna try this year again. Yes.
Okay. Lovely. Great. Yeah, well, thanks so much for participating tonight. And yeah, this was took twice as long as your Inside Out puzzle, but still a fantastic result. So
thank you.
I hope you can celebrate that, and look forward to seeing you at another Jigsaw Jam.
Yes, me too.
Thanks, Mathieu. Bye.
Thank you. And yes, we have 18 finishers until now.
And Mona and Freya are just about to finish. Both have just got less than a handful of pieces left. And Sammy is also coming in really hot there, just going to be a few seconds behind. Oh, both Mona and Freya reaching for at the same moment. Well done.
And the top 20 is full.
At 1 hour and 3 minutes.
Yes. This, like, really, I can't say it enough that it is a challenging puzzle. So, like, yeah, having a top 10 at like 1 hour is not really usual anymore. It's an unusually difficult puzzle.
Yeah, you can see in the screen of Maggie Magdalena that there's actually 2 people sitting next to each other puzzling the same puzzle. I think the other one is Barbara. Yes, okay.
Yes.
But
yeah,
very good.
So.
They have their pieces, both their puzzles are very close to each other, but that's the border, and they're keeping their pieces off to the side. And well done, Sammy.
Congratulations.
So just going to check who else is coming up close. Okay, so on screen, all right, now we have have Stein, Patrick, Jörn, Maggie, Sarah, and Jonna. All looking very good. Yeah, so Alejandro, you can, if you're still there, you can turn on your mic. He's actually left. He's disappeared.
Oh, well.
Okay. Then who was next? Sorry, Teresa. Teresa is... did Teresa say yes? Yes, she did.
She's there.
Oh, hello,
She's
Teresa.
Hello. Nice to see you again. It seems like your mic is not working, though. I can see that it's on, but like I couldn't hear you. Nope. You might have to leave the meeting and come back. I don't really know why it's working. It's not.
Oh. Then she'll pop in again.
She'll be back just now.
Yeah, so we have, so Stephanie K just finished. So we've had 22 finishes.
Yay!
Yeah, and we started the meeting, I think, with 85 people.
Somewhere around there, yes.
Yeah, so Lenka says, a gorgeous puzzle, wonderful for training. And her usual placement. That's the usual placement, like fifth? Fifth, sometimes fourth, usually just outside the podium, but a really great result, Lenka. So she says she actually enjoyed a lot doing the busy part with the plants and the fish. I wasn't expecting that. Good. Hi, Teresa. Can we hear you?
I don't know.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine. Sorry.
Yeah. Good evening. Have you done this puzzle before?
No. But today I have done another undersea word, and that was enough. So that one was extra one.
Yes, then you pretty much have answered the question that I was about to ask, is if you have been puzzling since the weekend, but then apparently you have.
Yeah, I did.
How long did it take you to actually start doing a puzzle again? When did you get back home?
I came home at Sunday evening. On Monday, I have to go to my job, and maybe on Monday I started doing puzzling again. Sorry.
Okay, so you didn't feel like you were worn out by the weekend at all?
No.
No, that's actually good to know.
I have to train every day, and now my kids are on the summer camp, so now I have more free time, so I can train.
Then you have to use the free time.
Yeah.
Yes. How have you been since the weekend, apart from that? Like, do you still feel tired, or do you feel the competition buzz?
Well, I have been very tired. I have to sleep after my job and at night, but now maybe it's okay.
Good. What did you think of the puzzle? How was it?
This puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
as you said, it was very tricky and hard. Nice color, but not much easy. I like sky. Every time I starting with sky.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe few fishes were easy, but the rest was horrible.
Now, I think, if I remember correctly, you also did the sky first, like you were saying that you do the sky first, and then you left the dolphins out. So I think we were pointing out at your puzzle as well that there's like a dolphin shaped hole in the puzzle. Like, did they really blend in that much that it was hard to like see where they are?
Yeah. As you saying during the live stream, you don't know where is the bottom of dolphin, where is the up.
So then you actually listen to the stream while you're puzzling.
Yeah.
Do you actually like use the information that you hear
Yeah. And when you say there are some people who could finish, I started be more nervous and trying to do better. And when is here Jim as commentator, he speaks so much like on some formula car race or it's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, no, you can imitate how Jim commentates. Like
Yeah.
that's one very like, yeah, it's impossible to repeat that.
He can get off us the maximum of our speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty nice to hear.
Yeah.
That it's also like a boost of motivation.
Yeah.
Do your hands shake at the end or in the beginning?
Mostly on the end.
Because you're getting nervous about
Yeah.
like who is finishing.
Yeah. And when is there still no finisher, it's worst and worst.
Mm-hmm.
Because you still know you can be the first one, so be more fast, and I'm then more nervous.
Yeah, I can imagine that. And then you were saying that you are training every day, that you are like doing puzzles. Like, do you actually have a plan of like what kind of puzzles you do? Like, especially now that it's getting closer to the world?
No. When I have some new puzzles or some which borrow me my friends, I try do anything. Mostly the puzzle that I haven't assembled yet,
Mm-hmm.
because of words where there are puzzle. I would say so. Second.
Yeah. And then do you repeat puzzles?
Not much often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to see how many finishers we have. I'm trying to count real quick. Michelle, do you have anything that you want to mention?
Yeah. So I'm interested to know that you listen to the live stream, because from what I had understood, pretty much all the top puzzlers don't listen to the live stream anymore because they say it's too distracting. Do you not find it distracting, or is it something that gives you a boost, or are you purposely trying to train that because like at Worlds you have cameras standing around you and you feel like this attention?
Yeah, it could be similar like on words. So that's why I listening, and also I want to know what it happens at another tables, if there is someone who could be better than me or not. And also I want to know if you speak about me.
And so how is it then when you puzzle in the flex meeting when it's like completely silent?
Well, when I did it for the first time, it was anything else because you was quiet, and I didn't know what happened. Why are you quiet when you are not talking? So that's not much good for me. But it is good that you can done the puzzle wherever you want. If you have time, you can do the puzzle.
Yeah, because you've done it a few times, or you've done it once where you uploaded the video, but then the other times you were at the meeting as well. But you also did really well at the quiet meeting. Yeah. So, how did you celebrate being the Czech champion? Did you go out with your family or with your puzzle friends, or did you have to go back straight away home?
Well, I think that every time after a final ceremony, we go home. So there is no time to celebrating, but at home, of course, we can celebrate it with my family, because my husband's grandparents and parents are living with us, and they are every time happy when I win something. So I have to celebrate with them and show them my trophies, and it's nice.
That sounds lovely. And is there like a particular food that you might have, or a particular drink that you get to enjoy when you celebrate?
Mostly we drink.
Oh God, there's
Food is not necessary.
there's that very good Czech drink.
Yeah.
Which one is it? I can't remember the name.
The Czech drink or
Yes, one of those liquors that I know. It's like it has this herby flavor. It's yellow.
you mean medovina? It's
Maybe
from honeybee.
could be.
Could be.
I have been to the Czech Republic before, and we were like drinking one of those. Like it was so delicious. I can't remember which one it was.
Well, I like rose wine or prosecco, something
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
There's actually a pretty interesting discussion that was happening in the YouTube chat, which is about the texture of the glow in the dark puzzle. Did you notice like anything about that?
No, it's normal as a classic puzzle. I was afraid of it, that there should be anything on it, but it's like any one other puzzle. Nothing special.
Yeah, so I personally don't even notice the pieces. I mean, I see these little dots in there because you can see like the little paint, but I personally did not feel
No.
like the texture didn't bother me. I didn't even notice it. But Iris said that she kind of has the feeling that she needs to wash her hands afterwards. Like, yeah, that there's this
I don't
different
feel
texture.
anything.
So Lenka didn't notice the difference, but I know that when we use the other glow in the dark puzzle, no, it was definitely more noticeable by the mud puppy.
Yeah,
Like
it was Galison maybe.
yeah, the mud puppy one with all the animals in the jungle, you could feel like it was a bit rougher.
Yeah.
But I think for the lunar wolf, which was also part of the glow in the dark series, some other people also mentioned that it was like a bit icky. But yeah, I guess it depends on how you perceive that. Yeah. Good. Yeah. So, well, thank you so much, Teresa. Congratulations. You just
Thank you too.
you bet Alejandro to the getting on the computer. So that's the second time, because 2 nights ago at the Flex meeting, he actually got to I think he got to the computer first, but then he had, because he was in Istanbul, he had like dodgy Wi-Fi and it was fiddling around for like 10 seconds. Oh no, that was Mari. You won, and you were before him. Then Alejandro was fumbling, and then it was Mari was very closely behind. But
It doesn't matter. I bet him.
yeah,
It's more important.
yeah. So yeah, we'll publish the results of that soon. But yeah, you two times in a row, then you just got faster than Alejandro.
Yes,
All right.
good job.
Well,
And it's good
Thank you.
prospects for worlds as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much, Teresa, and yeah, have a good evening.
Thank you, you too. See you later. Bye.
Bye. All right.
And we have had a couple of finishers in the meantime. It is 37, if I'm counting it correctly. So we have 37 finishers until now. And
Yeah.
we are at an hour and, let's say, 17 minutes.
Yeah, so I finished at 1 hour and 14 minutes, so I would have finished a few minutes ago. But yeah, challenging. However, on screen we have some people who will be finishing soon. Oh, and Hannah just put her last piece in. Well done, Hannah.
Congratulations.
And also coming up to the close, well, in the next few minutes, Jenny, Aaron, Lynn, Marianne, and Bibi also looking good there. Okay, so
There's also a discussion that has started on the YouTube chat, mostly about what Teresa was saying, that she's listening to the stream. And Jan says that he also has the stream on just because he's too curious what is going on. And then, yes, stream in the background. Mona had to turn it off during puzzling because it was so distracting. And then Funny said that she also loves listening to Jim's commentating. It's really like hearing the finish of a heated sport event when it gets close. But also he can really give an extra boost if you hear him during puzzling.
yes, and
Yeah, so-
Maya is cheering Jenny on.
Go, Jenny!
Come on, Jenny. Yeah, so
it is always interesting to hear if people are listening to the stream or not. I can't, personally.
So I always listen to the streams. So obviously I'm not doing the Jigsaw Jam, but when I participate in the Polish, Danish, and Swedish, Italian competitions, I always have the live stream going on. And Obviously, it's in a different language, even in the French one. So they're all in different languages. I don't know what they're saying, but sometimes I do hear my name, and I am like, then I think, oh, I must be getting close, or like I must be doing well, because like the more often, like the frequency of like hearing your name, like at the beginning you hear your name, and then maybe like 20 minutes later you hear your name again, and then it's like, oh, and the next 5 minutes, and then 2 minutes, like, oh, okay.
And then doesn't it bother you that you don't understand what is being said? It would drive me nuts.
No, I enjoy having it in the background. I enjoy hearing the different languages. Like I really like learning to love the Polish language. Yeah. And so all of them, like I'm picking up. Yeah, it was really nice hearing Tobias speak Swedish. I did not know what he was saying, but it was just so nice. It was just really enjoyable to listen to. Yeah.
And then Kinga says she also always listens to the commentating because it makes her feel like during an in-person competition. So yeah, it works for some people.
Yeah, and also when I'm at the Worlds, I don't listen to music. I kind of want to know what's going on around me. So I just I just hear the sounds. Okay, so I just wanted to have a quick chat with Tammy. Yeah, if you're there, you can turn your mic on. I'll put you back on there. Hi, Tammy.
Hi.
Hello, Tammy.
Yeah, so yeah, first of all, quick question. Have you done this puzzle before?
I don't think so, but I've done so many ocean puzzles, I've lost track, to be honest.
True, they all start looking the same after a while.
You know, there's going to be the dolphin with the white belly, and then there's like colors that look the same everywhere.
Yeah, no, yeah, you definitely would have done some undersea puzzles in your time. Yeah, so we wanted to have a chat because you mentioned that as the organizer of the US National Championships, you really saw how everybody worked together and how people were willing to volunteer. And it also just taught you how wonderful the jigsaw community is. Yeah, would you like to share any insights from that?
Yeah, well, the first time we did it, we had no idea like how interested people were going to be in volunteering. Because it was the first time we were holding the event that people didn't know us. We were kind of an unknown entity because we were still a fairly new organization, and we were putting on this big event that we were calling Nationals. And so we did it in San Diego, which we knew had already a jigsaw puzzle community. That way, if we could sort of reach out to the more well-known people in there and sort of say, okay, look, this is a legit competition. You can come and but putting together volunteers is a lot of logistics. First, you have to figure out all the work that needs to be done because as the organizing committee, you're only a small group of people, so you cannot do everything. So you need to figure out what kind of work you can like teach someone else to do and trust them and hand it off to them. You have all those jobs in place before you can like call out for volunteers, so you can like have them sign up for different jobs. And then usually we have one person who's their only job is to be the coordinator for volunteers. So they know everything that needs to be done. Everybody has someone to go to ask questions. There's a lot of information that needs to be distributed, just coordination wise. Because the first time we did it, we also had a convention going on, which meant upstairs we had also activities and events, and it's just like not everybody had chat, so we could communicate via radio if anybody had questions, because you couldn't just call them on your cell phone because you had no idea where they would be. So I was just amazed at how people stepped up and like were willing to give their time, even though they traveled there to compete, but they were also like, I will take a few hours and I'll volunteer and be part of this and help make this happen. And it was so gratifying to see that kind of response and to know that they supported this event that way. So ultimately, I think that's the biggest takeaway I had, just knowing that this was something people wanted to be part of and understanding that they were willing to give of their time and their effort.
Just one quick question. When was this? Because you were saying that was the first one, but like when was actually the first national?
The first US Nationals, I believe, was 2022. Because then the second one we had 2024, and then we had one this year in 2025. This was the third one, yes. So that makes sense, 2022.
That's actually so cool. I for some reason thought that there has been more US Nationals like longer ago.
There were old ones that I guess were also considered some kind of national championships in the 1980s. Those were organized by Hallmark in Ohio, but they ran for like 4 or 5 years, I think. But I didn't know about it at the time. But then they stopped for many, many years.
I assume that that's why I thought that like the nationals might have like a longer history, because I know that there, like in the US there have been like speed puzzle competitions before.
Yeah, the different organizations. That one, Hallmark is like a company. They make the puzzles themselves, and they held the competition. And there have been other competitions that have been going on. Like there's a big one in St. Paul. I think 20, 30 years, maybe more than that. But it's every winter, and it's part of a larger winter carnival that happens. They don't call themselves a national competition, but they're also like one of the oldest and biggest competitions that have been going on. But for the longest time, I think it was mostly local people who went. It wasn't until like when we showed up, my team went there for the first time in 2020, and they were really surprised to see us because we were from California, and everybody there was local. All the prizes were like a certificate to a local restaurant, and we couldn't use that kind of thing. So it wasn't really built as a national competition. It was just a really large city competition.
Mm. And then did you actually have to like recruit people, or did like the volunteers just turn up, or like how did you go about like collecting people for the competition?
Well, by the time we decided to hold an in-person competition, we had been holding virtual competitions. So there's a little bit of a community already. We met monthly on Zoom. And we did a raffle for them. Like if you do 3 shifts, you'll be entered into a raffle. We'll give you a T-shirt. So we had some small tokens of appreciation, and the sponsors donated some prizes for their raffle. So you had to be a volunteer to be eligible for that. So we wanted to show them that we appreciated their efforts, at least in some ways.
Yeah, I find that really like a good thing to like actually give something in return, because like there are some competitions, like not puzzling competitions, where I have seen that like volunteers could like either enter at like a discount price, because like they are kind of sacrificing a part of like the competition experience to help others out, but also that, as you were mentioning, that like some brands are like donating puzzles for them, things like that.
Yeah, one of our volunteers, I think they won the grand prize of the 40,000 piece Disney puzzle.
Oh no!
I'm not sure if that's a prize or punishment.
Yeah, well, it really depends on how you look at it. And I actually see someone going through their puzzle with the glow in the dark. They are using a UV lamp. It's Mariana. That was actually pretty cool.
I tried taking a tablecloth and putting it on my table. It was a little bit, but it's still kind of bright. Where this for me, it's what time is that? 11 in the morning.
Oh yeah. Ooh, that puzzle looks great. Michelle, do you think you can put it up on the screen?
I think Michelle is muted. I can't hear her.
Yes, I've put her on now. It looks really cool.
It looks really, really cool. It's the UV lamp. It looks great.
What is a UV lamp?
You know, it's like these torches that is like specifically like either for, I don't know, like I use them for like nail polishes. Actually, like I have a UV lamp for that, but it's like a different kind of lamp. I can't really explain what it is or how it works.
It's a different spectrum of the light. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Tammy. So someone smarter or more educated than I am.
Because Mariana looked like she was from like the CSI team, like scanning the crime scene with her special lamp.
Yeah, I know it has a UV lamp, but that's true. That's also what like you see in like CSI and stuff.
I actually see a lot of escape rooms. They use it as a form of invisible ink, because the basic glow in the dark ink is often only visible under UV light.
Ooh.
Tricky.
So does that mean you bring your own UV light to these escape rooms, or there's one somewhere in the room?
You solve a puzzle, and then they unlock a box and they give you a UV light, and then you have to like search your room for it.
Ah, very interesting. So maybe there should be a puzzle with like a secret message, and then at the end you've finished it, and then you have to like scan over with your UV light to reveal the answer.
Well, there's a gap in the market.
There you go, Michelle. The next EJJ needs to be a secret message puzzle.
And yes, and everybody has to have a UV lamp to participate.
They actually sell really small pocket UV lights that you can include. I done like at home escape room boxes that sometimes just have a small keychain size and a tiny little light.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, that's like something special we could, if you ever wanted to do something really out of the box.
Hmm. Yeah, no, what I thought was really interesting, what you mentioned at the very beginning was that you specifically chose San Diego for your event because you knew you already had a community there and there would be very likely be people who could step in to volunteer. And your next one is going to be in Atlanta, I hear?
That's right. The first two were in San Diego. The third one this year we did it in Washington D.C. Even though there's no real community there, but because it's part of Awesome Con, which is a culture convention. But people still flew in and volunteered. Like Japanese is one of the examples of that. It was pretty amazing that we were just able to get as many ones. And so I think Atlanta will probably be. I haven't started recruiting yet, but I hope it will have a good turnout. There's a lot of puzzlers in Atlanta, so I think that would help.
Can you just give us an idea of some of the tasks that people helped you out with that are maybe not so obvious? Because somebody emceeing on stage, being on the live stream, being a photographer, or being a timekeeper is like a very obvious volunteer. Were there some other little jobs that just meant a lot that are not so obvious?
People who were traveling and checking, we needed front desk people to answer questions and to check people in, to give them goodie bags. Oh, before the event, we had people assembling goodie bags as well because we usually give away some sponsored gifts. We have just runners to. I think the judges is the biggest one just because that's the most important thing. Because if people are there for the competition, and if we don't have enough judges, the whole competition falls apart. Everything else, if we need to do it, in theory, we can do it ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's just the secondary support. We had people guarding the rooms, moving puzzles around, just setting up the room later in between. Those are the main ones because this year we didn't have a convention. When we do have a convention, there's more support that's needed. But that just making sure equipment is working and things are in place and being the coordinator for, say, a casual puzzling competition, being the one to take care of paperwork for that. You'd be surprised actually how many small little jobs start cropping up depending on the number of events you try to organize.
How do you actually get these conventions to provide space for a competition? How do you coordinate such a big puzzle competition with a convention, which is usually also not a small event?
That is true. The reason we went with this convention was because Ravensburger, our main sponsor, was already in conversation with the organization, and they have space already. They had a booth and space in the basement area for regular puzzling. So we didn't have to approach them and have them decide whether to lend a space. Previously, we helped them in hotels. We rented a ballroom the same way you do any kind of big events. We rent, a hotel block, but we will get all the office rooms for secondary support because we need a room for volunteers, we need a room for the officials, we need a room to store the puzzles. The convention is kind of the same thing, except you're working with the convention company, the one who's running the convention. And that's a little more logistics, but you get so much more back in terms of production stuff because they had all the equipment, just better stuff that we wouldn't normally have.
So it's already all provided there?
Well, I mean, you'd have to talk to them for it. I wasn't actually on the organizing committee this year, but I heard some of how that was. It's a lot more back and forth than if it was us just communicating directly with the hotel, for example, because then you're talking directly to the events person at the hotel who would set up everything. And I was the one who would rent all the equipment that we needed. I'll call up the company and say, I need this and this and this, and they'll be the ones to bring it out. But I think when it's a convention company, there's a standard level of production that needs to be done, so they take care of all that, you go through them.
And then actually what I'm wondering about, how many people do you need for such an event, especially that the US nationals are huge? How many volunteers do you actually have that are working there?
Oh, I do not know the number offhand, but if I had to guess, 80 to 100, I think. not everybody's there all the time because people have events to compete in themselves. But I think there's about at least that many people who are involved.
That is incredible, though. I would have guessed like 40, maybe.
Well, some people just do like maybe 1 shift or 2 shifts. But like us, the main people ourselves, like, now there's 6. When we first put it together, there was 4 of us the first year, and then basically we just needed as many people as possible because our events has multiple rounds of prelims, and then we have all 3 categories. So it's a lot of events, and people need to rotate out. So that's why there's so many. Not just, you don't see 80 people at one go working. It's just like over 3 different shifts, perhaps.
But then most probably at one point you have to like sit down and actually make a schedule with that many people.
Oh yeah. We actually, like William, who is our judge coordinator, he is so on top of things. This is like his specialty. I remember watching him. He had this binder with it's like a physical slideshow where he did a briefing with them, explained all the things they needed to know. He had a whole process, and so everybody was like a little army. They went out, they knew exactly what to do. Everything was efficient. We had our room at 100 tables, and we had different like people for each panel running down and taking care of stuff. It was so, I was sitting at the top collecting all the sheets with the scores on it. It was amazing how organized it was all done from that side.
Yeah, that sounds so amazing. Like it must be really impressive to see as well.
It was. And then I didn't have a lot of spare time, but when I took a moment to look at how everything was going, just how it all came together, it was only made possible on the backs of all the people who were working there and making it happen. So it's just amazing to see it all come together because the people are there working to make the event happen that they wanted to be at.
Yeah, that's so awesome, Tammy. I just have one last question for you because I see that Daphne is in our meeting, so we're going to switch to her soon. I'm sure she has a lot of interesting insights to share with us. So my last question to you is, why did you volunteer? Why did you volunteer to start the whole association, knowing that like you had big visions, like even though you knew like it would be such a daunting project?
Because I wanted it to happen, and I didn't think anybody else was going to make it happen. So I figured I was going to try it. What's the worst that could happen? And like if I failed, I wouldn't have lost anything because but if I tried, then this thing would have come into being, and now it exists. And so it's just, I think it comes down to not being afraid of failing because I didn't really have anything to lose.
It's so great. Yeah, I think that's such a great attitude. And I think that's also something that came through with, people who have organized something. They just said, just do it. Like it's going to work. And if something doesn't work, people are going to be forgiving and people want to help. And people were just grateful that there's an opportunity.
Because without it, the alternative is that it doesn't exist at all. So you're better off trying anyway. And yeah, it's just, otherwise it might never happen. Because like, if you don't think about it too much, sometimes you might be scared away if you think about how much work it actually will be. But if you think about the end goal and keep that in mind and try it, and it's a lot easier.
Yeah, that is such a good way to go around it. Like, it's better to have an event that is maybe not 100%, but just 98 than to not have one at all.
Agreed.
Yeah, yes, it's really inspiring to hear the vision.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Tammy. I mean, look and where it is now. I mean, 24 Nationals was a success, such a huge event, and it had to start somewhere. So thanks, Tammy, for taking that initiative. Yeah.
Oh, it was my pleasure. I am so happy to have that as a legacy.
Definitely. Well, thanks, Tammy, and for puzzling along with us tonight, and see you next time.
Okay, thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
All right, so we're just had another few people finish in these last moments. So congrats to Rika and Rachel and Bibi for finishing.
Yes. We have just had 63 finishers, and we still have about 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, so Daphne, would love to hear from you why you volunteer and where you volunteered, and any insights you have to share with us.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I started last year at Worlds. My daughter was competing and my sister, who's been there for the third time, I think, this year. And I was just accompanying them, and I saw beforehand that you could put yourself down as volunteer. So I just tried that, and the first day I tried being a judge, and I've never stopped since then because it's so much fun. It's I love puzzling, but I'm not good enough for speed puzzling. I'm more like an hour and a half puzzler for a normal 500. But if you're a judge or if you're a volunteer, you're a part of this community, and the community is so great. So it's, for me, it's the optimal position to be as a judge. So I can talk to the people, I'm a part of the community, but I don't have to puzzle.
Yes, you're pretty much encouraging the puzzling in that way.
Yeah, it's for, I can just say, anybody that just likes the puzzling, the puzzle community, but feels that he or she is not good enough to compete on their own, or is maybe competing in a team or something, just go ahead and ask if they need volunteers, because it's really fun. If you do it once, you'll always do it, I think. And I've been to the Worlds now, then I did the German, the Deutsche Meisterschaft. I've been to the States for the nationals, which was really nice. Also to see how everybody does it, it's slightly different, and then to pick up what works, or have your own ideas. And then we had our Dutch nationals, which was like 3 or 4 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago probably. I'm one of the board members for the Dutch committee, so I could be my own head judge there. And it was just good fun being there. It's if you're on the board, it's a lot more work than you think beforehand. But it is so much fun as well, seeing everything come together on the day itself. Yeah, I can only say the puzzle community is so great that even if it doesn't work out the way you want it, or you have your little mistakes, which we also had, still you can try to correct them, and the people are not mad about it or anything. It's everybody is just happy that we're putting something together.
Literally. Yes, for those who are like just thinking of getting involved in like organization or volunteering or helping out, putting like a competition together, how much work would you say it is? Like, as in, like how much time does it take from, you know, your everyday life?
I can only say that for the Dutch nationals, we have 7 board members. And we had our meeting beforehand. In the end, we're like meeting every week for at least like 2-3 hours in the evening. And the last week was a lot. With my daughter, I did some stuff like also how are you going to seat the people, who's going to be table number 1? You want your fastest people there, but who is the fastest to work that out? Who's going to sit there? It took us like almost 2 days to work that out, because you don't only want your top 10, but you want your people in the middle as well to have a little bit of a position in there. And then there's also people you can't find anything about. Which is, well, you're still trying to find a name somewhere on the internet to see if they're doing puzzles, to see if they have an Instagram account or something. So stuff like that takes more work than you think, because if you're just competing, you never think, about your table number. You just take your table, you have table number 33, you're happy to be there. But it takes a lot of thought to get to your table number. And that was for everybody of us. We all had our own direction we're working in. Like Daniela is doing our sponsoring, our online presence. She was working a lot, but we had a lot of nice gimmicks in the end. We had our chocomel and we had our cheese and stuff like that. So that was great. It takes more work than you think, but it is really rewarding in the end. And if you just want to volunteer for a competition, then it's just usually you might want to read the rules one extra time to be sure what you're doing there. You usually have your briefing beforehand, but it doesn't take up too much time. And it's nice to see the other side of the puzzling. So I can only recommend anybody to just give it a try at Worlds or a national competition, even if you're not competing yourself, but if you're not that far away from the competition, just go there, ask if they need volunteers, and just be a judge. And I noticed as well that the judges we had, they were really worried that a lot of people would finish at the same time and they wouldn't catch everybody finishing. But somehow it always works out. It's the same here. You might miss one, but usually it works out great because you're not the only volunteer. Most competitions I've been at, you have like 10 or maybe a little bit over 10 puzzlers you're doing as a volunteer, but you're not only at your own row. You'll keep an eye on the others as well. And if somebody has like 2 or 3 finishing at almost the same time, then a judge will call you over and say, can you do that table and write them their time? So that's actually that you're missing people is not really a big problem. And it's just fun seeing all the people, seeing how they're doing their puzzle, standing next to them. It's nice.
I actually want to go back to you were saying that you went to US nationals. Was that specifically to go and help out, or did you go as a spectator and then it turned into volunteering?
No, actually, I met some of the people of the board at Worlds, and I kept in contact. And I told them, if you need volunteers, I'll be happy to come. And they asked, and I went. And it was great fun. Actually, I already helped the day before with cutting the stickers on the puzzles. So I knew all the puzzles beforehand, which is always nice. And then I just helped the whole weekend. And it's because you meet so many people that you maybe only know from Instagram or something. It's really nice to meet all those people in real life.
Yeah, I'm in the meantime, while you were speaking, I was also just peeking at the comments that are coming in. And Rika is saying that her life partner was pulled in to help as a judge during the Finnish Nationals and really loved it as a non-puzzler. And then during the Nordic Championship, he volunteered during every round. So it seems like you really do get hooked.
Yeah, you don't have to be a puzzler to be a judge or to do other things at the competition. That's the nice thing, but you can still enjoy the community. And there are sometimes that I met a lot of mothers of good puzzlers who are being a volunteer then. So you're going anyway and you're doing something there. That's, I think, the nice thing, that you're not sitting around, but you're just actively present there.
Yeah, no, I think that's really great. I have to say, I don't know, I just felt like I needed to do something when I was at the Worlds and not yeah, I just felt like I had to do something, so I volunteered for like in between the rounds. I did a block of 3 individual rounds as a judge, and yeah, I also saw you there. You're quite easy to spot because you're tall. Yeah, and no, that was good. I mean, you have lots of we have to coordinate between the different rows when there's a lot happening over here, and then someone gets pulled over, then we're waving over to the camera, and it somehow works out that it's like, yeah, suddenly you're like this group of strangers, but you're all working together and like helping it to come together, and yeah, I feel like it's the best seat in the house because, yeah, everybody else is like looking from a distance and they only get to see what's being showed on the video, but you get to like wander around. And especially at the beginning when you know nothing's happening for the first 20 minutes, you can all just like hang out at the front rows and see your favorite puzzler.
Yeah, it's totally different from puzzling. Puzzling, you have the stress the whole like half an hour to an hour and a half, which you're puzzling. And as a judge, you have the stress in the beginning when they're starting. And then half an hour, you have nothing to do. And then it starts getting interesting again. Just having an eye on people, who's going to be the next finisher. And yeah, that's really... almost adrenaline kick as well, getting everything right, and having the contact with the puzzlers is so nice because they're usually so stressed, and you have that the relief of stress as soon as they finish. They're shaking, and you have that first contact with how was the puzzle? Did you enjoy it? And it's really nice that moment. I enjoy that.
Yeah, I love always seeing the reactions, like the relief and like the, you know, all the expressions. And there was a one photo from the weekend in Budapest, and someone's just like, you know, so everybody has like their way of like relieving that stress in that moment when they put that final piece in, and then like that instant joy, and then somebody comes over and congratulates them and takes down their time. So that's also just a nice thing. You kind of get to go around and see people as they finish and be there for that moment. I just want to mention that we have 9.5 minutes left to go. We have, Sabina is going to get close. I think we're going to see Heike, Kieran, and Angelica finish. And yeah, go, Agnes, Hagar, Aurelia, Anna R, Vanita, Isabel, Andreas, Amanda, and Everly. Actually, Amanda is also looking like she can finish in the next 9 minutes. So keep on going, everyone. Daphne, I'd just like to touch on something you said about the table numbers. So yeah, it is somebody's task to figure that out. And I have to say, last year at Worlds, I was kind of surprised and impressed that somebody placed me in the individual round, like where they placed me at the table. Because I hadn't been to any like official competitions, I didn't have any official rankings, but somebody placed me somewhere, and it's like I was next to the people who are usually next to me in like other, who have similar times to me, but I was like, how did they know that? Because I just thought it was really clever, and I was like, is somebody stalking me on Instagram? Or like, it was just very curious. Like Fruji was not far from me, and I was next to Jeanette and Maria R, who I always have very similar times to. We were all like in the same row, and I was like, wow, somebody really did a lot of work and actually placed me very closely to other people. And even then, sure, it was linked with myspeedpuzzling.com very closely. But yeah, maybe that's a good task for someone who's kind of like analytical minded, or who does lots of social media. They can check the myspeedpuzzling.com and come up with like a ranking.
Yeah, I know in the States they have their own ranking system, and I would love to have that here in Europe as well. So if somebody is gifted in that direction, that would be really nice. Or they're working on the European Commission now. I think that would be great if we could get a ranking system. So somehow with the nationals going in there, you get your points or something. And also this competition that you can get your points. Because I think that will make it a lot easier also for the national competitions. If you have your ranking system, it's easier to see who's faster and how to place your people. And if I can promote one thing as well, in the Netherlands we had for the first time we did the timekeeping on our mobile phone. One of our board members programmed not only our websites, but made us an app we could use. So as soon as somebody finished, we could put it in our app. We could scan the name tag, and then we can stop the time on our mobile phone. And it was, I think it's a really nice system, because then you really have a digital system. It's not writing down, looking up and down from the screen to see the time, what we do at Worlds. But you can just look at the puzzler, fully concentrate on what he or she is doing, and then just press the button as soon as they're done. And you could adjust the time. So if you didn't, you had the feeling you're not doing it correctly, you can adjust the time in seconds, and you could put in the missing pieces as well there.
That is excellent. Because I felt like when I was at the Worlds, like I was looking at the puzzler, like, okay, so like 4 pieces left, and then I'm looking at the screen because I want to check the seconds, and I'm looking back down, and then I'm looking up again, and then I'm like saying it in my mind, okay, 33, 34, 35, you know, and I was like, and I always had to stand somewhere where I could see the puzzler's hands and the screen at the same time to catch that minute. But having an app where you can basically go, stop, then you're fully focused on that participant, and you're not like looking up or that sounds excellent.
That was really nice, because at Worlds you also have the camera people running around. You have to look where they can go in front of you or back, and you had to look at the screen as well. And I noticed that at our championship you can just, it didn't matter where you stand, because you just need to have a look what they're doing, if they're finishing or not. So you can stand in front of them, next to them. It didn't really matter.
Okay, is this system being suggested to the Worlds? Are you having any cooperation that you could share that technology?
Alfonso was there, so he saw it. But actually, our programmer is, he said it's, our system was number 1, and he's working on a new one now. And we would love to promote this for all the other nationals as well, because I think it's really a nice system. And we also had minor problems with the system, but I think it's a lot more accurate than if you, especially at Worlds, you have the problem that all the judges, they have different handwriting. And especially in Germany, our 7 and our 1, they're different, I think, than the rest of the world. Especially the 1 is a little bit funny. And if you're not used to it, you'll see a 7 there. So I think it's more accurate if you just press your button, and it's instantly on the website or on the screen, whatever you want.
Yeah, definitely, because I know when I was doing the times, you write down the time, and then you hand it. And in the first one, you're kind of excited because like, oh, we have a time, and then like, oh, you have something to do. Then you wait a few minutes for the next finish, and then you get to take that. And then by like the 7th time you take a paper, the poor lady is sitting there at the desk with like a table, a stack of papers like this, and she's like, no, that one goes underneath. Like she's trying to work through them in order. And I think that was like the big backlog of the times and getting all like the qualifications finalized. There was really a big backlog, like sometimes for like an hour or more after a competition someone was still sitting there inputting. So yeah, there's definitely an opportunity for a digital system to take that as you say, also like with the German 1s and 7s, I had to relearn how to write a 1 and a 7 when I came to Germany. Because it's not like how the 1 and 7 I learned in New Zealand. In New Zealand, like a 1 is just like 1, and then a 7 is like this. But in Germany, you have a tick, but sometimes the tick can be as tall as the 1, like this, like I didn't even know what that
Depending
was.
on how someone writes it.
Yeah.
I actually never realized that confuses some people, because I also learned one like that. It's the European way.
Yeah, it might be a European thing. I think we learned the British way. But yeah, congrats to Agnes, who just finished, and Amanda
Yay.
Austin and Sabina. So fantastic. All right, we've got 1 minute to go. Come on, Juanita, Isabel, Hagar, Andreas, Everly, Anna, and Aurelia. Oh, Anna can do it. Anna, come on, 5 pieces.
Yes, almost done. It's so close. And we do have someone finishing in the last minute.
Yeah, this was a really tricky puzzle. Oh, come on, but yes, come on,
Yes.
Anna. Hit that done.
And done.
Yes. Well
Yay.
done. Yay.
Congratulations.
That's good. Oh, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Stop, everybody. Well done.
Congratulations, everyone.
That was a tricky dolphin puzzle. All right. So yeah, count up your leftover pieces. Everything that's connected 3 or more counts as assembled. Yeah, so definitely I'm interested. Was there anything in the US that you thought, oh, that's really interesting, we should do that in Europe?
Well, the US, I don't know if you know William, but if you know him, you know it's going to be. He has his own ways, which are really accurate. So they had a Teams meeting beforehand. And I really like that idea that you have your judges and you tell them things that you find important. So I try to do that as well. And he does a small pep talk beforehand, before every competition, which is really nice because especially for pairs or for teams, you can have slightly different rules or different things to pay attention to. And I missed that a little bit at Worlds. But they changed the rules. I think it was just before the finals.
Or was it about that 10-second? You could just say call it and just say, yep, just give me the 10-second, as opposed to like first looking for that missing piece.
Yeah, I didn't catch that as a judge, because as a judge, I'm not listening to what they're telling at the podium. So I did it differently as a judge, which is annoying, I think, because all your judges need to do it exactly the same way. If you're going to have a Worlds or an important or finals, something important, it needs to be handled exactly the same way for everybody. And I think there we can work on that a little bit. But it's a sport that is just beginning to start, and you see that with all the nationals just doing the first or second year. So I think that's gonna improve as well.
Are you going to the Worlds this year?
Yeah, and 99% sure.
Okay.
I have one daughter that hasn't been yet. She really wants to go, but school starts exactly that week. So we haven't asked the school yet.
Oh.
But her sister went last year, so we're trying to joke her that one.
Okay. Yeah, well, now we get a closer look at your mascot. Can you introduce us?
Yeah, you guessed my thoughts. That's exactly what I wanted to say. Like, we have to find out more about your mascot.
Puzzling is a hoot. Very nice.
Yeah, I got her in the States. Ravensburger had little mascots. You got when you were you spent a certain amount of money, you could get one.
Oh, that's so cute. And how is he attached to your shirt?
I have a little magnet under.
Oh, that's so cool.
I think I saw a photo of you at the Dutch Nationals with a mirror on your shoulder. Did you have it at the Dutch Nationals?
Yeah, I had her at the Dutch Nationals. Yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
There is a question that came up though, which might be good if you answered now, Michelle. How are the winners of the draw notified?
I will announce it on Instagram. Or how do I do this? I don't know. I've never done a YouTube giveaway before. How should I? Does anybody have an idea? Should I just scroll through and pick a random comment? How the winners are the draw are notified. Okay, how about this? Daphne, do you have the YouTube chat open?
Yes.
Okay,
But
can you
it's
just
a little bit small on my handy?
Okay, scroll through, find a nice
Yeah.
comment, and then read out the name of that person. And then Fruji, you pick one, and then I'll pick one.
Okay, I'm just going to scroll to like whichever point and then just point to somewhere.
So I found a nice comment. Saka says, woohoo, I made it to the time limit. My husband put the kids to bed, but then had to go to the city. After the reveal, I already wrote to him, this time I will not finish within the first hour. But she managed to finish within the time limit. Okay, Saka, if you're still there, I think I know who you are. Yes, then you get to, let me just pick a random puzzle. Okay, you have one Versailles puzzle. All right, so let me write that down that I don't forget. Okay, Daphne, pick a random comment and read it out.
The problem is it's so small on my mobile phone that I can hardly read it. I need to open.
Okay, you can open it on YouTube. Okay, Fruji, have you found a comment?
Yes, and then I lost it. I was scrolling. Oh God. I found it. It's Johannes K. by I literally just like scrolled through, and wherever I stopped and my cursor was pointing at it, and Johannes K. commented, "Congrats to all speed puzzlers."
Very nice. Okay. Grabbing a random puzzle. You have one Venice day and by day and night. Okay.
Are you writing these down, Michelle? or
I
should write
am.
down? Okay, good.
Oh, by the way, thanks to everyone for commenting. It's been a very lively chat tonight. It's been very interesting to have you all along and to read lots of the comments from the participants when they finished. And yeah, a lot of people are appreciating the insights from Tammy and Daphne.
Then I'll take Ollie Puzzling. He was, I think, a spectator. He was
I think that's Olivia.
rooting
Yeah.
for somebody. Yeah.
That one's Olivia, yeah? And they were cheering on someone. Okay, Olivia, then you get the flowers to practice with your team. All right. Well, thanks very much, everyone. It's been a really great competition, a bit more difficult than normal, but it's been a lot of fun to have all of your company. And congrats on all the puzzlers for pushing through with this puzzle. So thanks, Daphne, for joining us, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you at the Worlds, hopefully. And thanks so much, Fruji, for co-hosting.
Yes, see you at Worlds, Daphne.
Yeah, see you there, hopefully.
Hopefully. All right. Thanks, everyone, and good night.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.
Hello.